This is Annette Dunlap with the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, here to talk to you today about the FDA's new gluten-free labeling rule. Gluten-free products have been available on the market for years to help the nearly 3 million Americans living with celiac disease. And today, more and more consumers are buying gluten-free products as part of their overall nutrition plan. This has led to a significant increase of products on the market that claim to be gluten-free. But how can you tell if a product is really gluten-free? In August 2013, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration issued a regulation that defines the term gluten-free for food labeling. The purpose of the rule is to standardize what gluten-free means on the food label. Companies wishing to make the gluten-free claim on their product will have until August 2014 to bring their label into compliance. After August 2014, a food that is labeled gluten-free but fails to meet the requirements of the regulation will be subject to regulatory action by the FDA. Your decision to label your product gluten-free is voluntary. However, if you do label your product as gluten-free, you are accountable for using the claim in a truthful manner and for complying with all requirements established by the regulation and enforced by the FDA. So what makes a product gluten-free? The FDA has set a gluten limit of less than 20 parts per million for foods that carry the label gluten-free, no gluten, free of gluten, or without gluten. This level is the lowest that can be reliably detected in foods using scientifically validated analytical methods. The FDA has not set a specific standard for the frequency of testing your product. In general, if you test your recipe and it meets the standard of less than 20 parts per million of gluten, then you may continue to make the claim on your label. However, if you should change your formulation or if you change suppliers, it is strongly advised that you retest your product. The FDA also advises that as the manufacturer, the liability for the gluten-free claim rests with you. So it is strongly advised that you have your formulation tested, even if your suppliers have given you copies of test results that show that your product meets the gluten-free standard. If you do choose to make the gluten-free claim, you can place the claim anywhere on your food label, as long as it doesn't interfere with mandatory labeling information and it meets the regulatory requirements. Remember, the goal of the gluten-free claim is to protect those Americans suffering from celiac disease. For more information on how the gluten-free rule applies to your food business, check out these resources. Yours to success. This is Annette Dunlap.